horses to do, where I can just look where I want to go. And they can start going into those turns. Hey guys, welcome back to Habits of a Horseman. Today we're going to be talking about getting your horse to have power steering. One of my most favorite things to teach a horse is to be able to have really nice steering. Steering from neck reining and steering from our focus and our leg. If you've ever ridden a horse that just feels like wherever you look, wherever you want to go, they just go there willingly and easily, it's a wonderful feeling, and you don't ever want to go back to riding a horse that doesn't feel like that. I mean, if you think back to driving a car that didn't have power steering back in the day, where you had to really pull that turn if you weren't going very fast, and you had to pull that wheel really hard to get the car to turn, that's kind of what most horses feel like. And if you can go to where you're driving a car that you just turn that wheel a little bit and it's got really good responsiveness every time you just make a little adjustment, it just turns nice and smooth. That's how we'd love our horses to feel. And so I'm going to show you some exercises that are going to help you get that with your horse. Before I jump into those exercises, you need to decide how do you want to cue your horse to turn, okay? So I'm going to give you two options. Option one is you can teach your horse to neck rein, okay? Option number two is you can teach your horse to follow your leg. So with both cues, we're going to use our focus first. But what are you going to do to reinforce it, your neck rein or your leg? For me, I work on my leg quite often if I'm thinking about being able to ride a horse bridleless at some point. If I use my neck rein, it means that I'm thinking about being able to show my horse in ranch versatility or something like that, where I need to be able to do something at maybe a higher rate of speed, and I got a bridle on and I'm going to be able to neck rein them through that turn. So I work on both equally, but I want you to pick one to focus on for a while. So whenever I'm practicing it, I pick one and I stick with that. Because whatever cue you use first, you're always going to have to use. Okay? So if you always use your leg first, you'll always need your leg. If you always use your neck rein first, you always need your neck rein. If you always use your focus first, you'll always need your focus, okay? So the whole point is we're not just going to pull them to turn right off the bat. Most people, if I say turn right, they just go to this rein and they just pull that horse to the right. Instead of, I want to go to the right, I might use my neck rein or I might just use my leg to turn. So let's assume you're going to use your neck rein, okay? So you got two hands on the reins, and instead of riding a circle where you're kind of saying to the horse, turn, 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 turn the whole way, which is not how we should be riding a circle. If we ride a circle, we should be giving the horse the responsibility to stay on the circle. But most people are starting to use circles to try to teach their horse to turn. I want to suggest to you to use squares and triangles, okay? Squares and triangles. So if I want to turn, I'm going to look 90 degrees to my right, change my focus, neck rein, direct rein, right straight. Change my focus, neck rein, direct rein. Now you can already see she's starting to think about turning. So change my focus, neck rein, and she hustled pretty good in that turn. Let me show you that again. Focus, neck rein. I don't know. Can you guys see? I just corrected her a couple times, and then she already knows what pattern I'm working on. Okay, so she's already anticipating that turn. The reason I said squares or triangles is because if I was riding my horse and I went to turn and they sped up like this and I broke into a trot when I was only saying walk, I'm going to bring that horse back all the way into like a triangular turn and then ride off. Meaning I would pick them up and bring them back more than 90 degrees, change my angle, and then ride off. So they would learn to put their weight back and turn more versus go faster forward. Okay? So if you're practicing this at a trot, and again, you're working on, say you're working on your leg cue. So you're going focus, leg, and that horse speeds up. You need to leave your leg on, pick that horse up until they make that turn, and then ride on. Okay? So don't let them get relief for speeding up forward in the turn. You want that horse to think about weight back and turn more. Okay? So let me show you that again. So this is now without neck reining. So focus, leg, very good. I'll put my reins down so you guys can see that. Focus, leg. Can you guys see her think about putting her weight back and thinking about turning there? And so what this lends itself to is when you start getting into a trot and a canter with a horse, they can pick themselves up, and then you don't have to worry about them dropping their shoulder because they're already thinking about rocking their weight back as you go into that turn. Focus. Did you guys see that? So I didn't even use my leg there, and she started to make that turn. So for me, this is power steering, and this is where I want to get my horses to do, where I can just look where I want to go. And they can start going into those turns. So go out and give this exercise a try. I hope it helps you. Drop a comment below and let me know how this exercise works for you. If you have any trouble, shoot me a message. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys down the road.